Hey, it's your buddy Timshel coming back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. And I wanted to do a quick video on artifacts and how to judge if an artifact is worth keeping long term, worth keeping for a roll or two, or just throwing away right now. So what I did is I spent all night farming dragon, 3,500 health or 3,500 energy to farm dragon, and we're going to go through and I'm going to show you my thought process on how I judge what artifacts are good to keep and what I get rid of right away. And you can tell me if that's helpful at all for you. So please leave me a comment and subscribe, like the video, much appreciated. So when you're dealing with this artifact set, the filter is by far your best friend. So the first thing I do when I go in is I click these three guys, I go to the just new, and then I pick all the flat stats because these all are pretty much junk. You don't want to keep these because they'll just take up space in your inventory and cause you lots of headaches when you try to eventually go and clean up your inventory. Now, if you're doing this for the first time, you're going to have to go through and do this to all of your sets to make sure you catch all these that are taking up spots for good items that you want to keep at some point. But these are not going to be helpful. So we're going to sell $1 million for that, million silver. So that's pretty good. Now, I'll take that off and see if I do have some of these, which I do. So some of these snuck in before I could, I think, get in there and find them. And wow, that one got ranked up to 16. So we got to get rid of all of these, and then we're going to clear up. Well, it's painful, a 6-star legendary flat stat. But I'm telling you, culling these things is important. So, okay. Now we've culled all of our sets that we know, or the artifacts that we know are going to have bad sets. So now we'll go to the just new, and this is all the stuff I farmed last night. So I have some rules based on my account, and you can certainly do the same for your account, but I won't keep things. Wow, not one speed item that wasn't a flat stat? That's terrible. Huh, very odd. I won't keep things that are rare 5 stars. So I start right away with the sell, and I just go through and I start clicking off these items. Now, if it's a 6-star rare and it looks like it's got some decent rollers, mid crit damage and some accuracy isn't worth me keeping. So I'm going to sell all that. Here's a 6-star rare crit rate and some flat stat attack, but that's a pretty high crit rate, so I'm going to keep that one. And then crit rate and crit damage, both mid-range, not going to be enough to keep it. Here's a 6-star with HP, crit damage, and speed, so I'm going to keep that one as well. So you can see as I go through and do all of the cleaning up, we've got a 6-star with some speed, decent speed roll. I tend to always lean towards keeping things with a speed roll of 5 or higher, just because speed is so hard to get in this game, and I'll be releasing a video on that soon. So the only exception to my rule is I do keep almost every speed boot. So if it's a speed boot, I will keep it. Crit rate, 6-star crit rate with some HP and some speed, I'm going to keep it. Even though it's a niche set, that's a bad one. Some speed and resistance on a defensive, yeah. If I ever do build a defensive 6-star with crit rate and defense on a defense, that's probably a pretty good one. Here's an epic with a defense, some HP. Now, defense and HP never really go together. You want to build your high defensive champs with lower HP, so they take hits, and because they can handle it. HP with crit rate and some flat stats, nope. So we'll go through here. Defense and attack. 6-star Frost. See, this is where you take into account the type of gear, right? I don't have a lot of Frost. I don't have a lot of use for Frost. I don't think Freeze is necessarily the greatest debuff to put on a mob because they take less damage. So here's a pretty good one. Here's an attack with a crit rate. Gives us some defense. This is worth a roll later. So if I could get either a couple rolls into crit rate or a couple rolls into speed, that would be pretty good. So I'm going to hold on to that, and we might roll that up later. I will always take a look at 5-star legendaries because that gives you an opportunity to get 3 or possibly 4 rolls into something you want. So if I could get 3 or 4 rolls into crit rate on this, that might be worth it. But since it's a Frost set, I'm probably not going to keep it. So basically, I just do this through the whole thing. I'm not going to bore everyone with my with the exercise of going through this, but you can see I'm looking for speed. I'm looking for 6-star stuff. I'm looking for artifact abilities that don't counter each other. I don't want HP and defense. I don't want attack and defense if that's the only thing on a rare. So I hope this was helpful. Please subscribe to the channel and leave me a comment. I look forward to hearing from you. Be well.